God is doing.
Daniel Coleman, singer-songwriter and musician, is currently based in Jackson, Mississippi. He is a native of Richton, Mississippi, where he developed a deep love of gospel, R&B, and soul music. Refined in his grandfather's storefront church, the impact of Daniel's talent has reached the lives of thousands of men and women.
So my name is Daniel Coleman. I am from Richton, Mississippi. Currently live in Jackson. I found out about Jackson Indie Music Week really just via social media. I've sort of been a fan following them since probably about 2016, 17. So when I started taking music seriously, I decided it was something that I would really like to participate in one day.
So how long have you been making music?
So I've been making music officially since 2021. I released my first single entitled Just a Man, found it on all streaming platforms. Really sort of as a response to the COVID pandemic and all the social injustice that was happening during that time. But since, I've been working on a full project, a full album, just completed it at the end of last year and hoping to release by this spring.
And for that single, Just a Man, I noticed you had a video for that.
Mm-hmm.
Could you explain the inspiration, what went behind like choosing that particular mural that you shot in front of?
Yeah, so that mural, obviously, if you're from Jackson or familiar with that mural, it's one of the premier murals in the city. And obviously the people that are on that mural are examples of social justice, not just for the city, but for the state, and also just for who they are. I felt that it was a perfect representation of what I wanted to convey in the song, from David Banner to everyone who was on the mural. So I wanted to include that, one, just capturing Jackson and the essence of the city and what it is. Jackson's been good to me, went to school here for college. But then also, I feel that, the reflections of who those people are were also reflected in that song as well.
Okay, it was also a plus. It was right near the Civil Rights Museum as well.
Definitely, big plus, big plus.
Yeah. So do you plan on having any more videos? Because I love when artists have visuals. Like that to me is like the icing on the cake. And a lot of people just put out so many singles. I'm like, okay, where's the visuals to sort of grab and entice people?
Yeah, definitely. I'm in the works now of the visual aspect of my album coming out. So yeah, I think it's always a fun thing when I think about the artists who I grew up watching, from Michael Jackson to even now current artists, PJ Morton, Ty Tribbett. Their music is already great, but then adding that visual context, I guess, helps bring it more to life.
Yeah, and to me, just a single, like that is so introspective and personal. I was like, ooh, that's kind of some bold subject matter going on.
Yeah. For me, honestly, that 2020 was a heavy year for everyone. Pandemic aside, with COVID-19, people not knowing really what that was, but then also so many cases of police brutality, from Breonna Taylor to George Floyd, and so many other unfortunate situations. Literally, I was doing a lot of cover songs during that time. And initially, how Just a Man was birthed, I was going to do a cover of Stevie Wonder's You Haven't Done Nothing, and recorded the whole song, was lining everything up, and my computer crashed. So all of my files deleted. So I do a lot of my recording in my closet. So I sat down and I said, you know what, God, maybe it wasn't for me to release that as a response to this. So what do you want me to say? Literally, I picked up my guitar and sang the whole song top to bottom. And I was like, wow, that felt good. So I grabbed my pen and pad, wrote everything down, and that's when the process started to write it seriously.
I mean, that's pretty impressive, because most people, when their hard drives and stuff crashes, like they just stop, just completely, they take a little hiatus, a little break, like they just lose all inspiration to create anymore. So the fact that you were able to bounce back from that says a lot about, your hunger and desire to put your music out there. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, just the impact of that, a mother loses a daughter, a father loses a son. Regardless of the circumstances of the situation, nobody should have to lose their life, especially in that manner. So that was something that really, it weighed really, really heavy on me. So as an artist, I felt the least that I could do is share that message and convey it. in something that we all enjoy, which is music.
Oh, absolutely. Do you have anything that you want to convey to your audience that you want to say, like any last words?
Yeah, so kind of piggybacking on what you said a minute ago, about kind of losing inspiration. With this album coming out, really this album, it's a gospel album. I'm a Christian artist. One thing that I would say is to keep going even when you don't feel the motivation. It's taken me a year to put this album together, but I'm thankful for the finished product. One song turned into 3, which turned into 5. Now I'm down to a 8-song album. So just keep going. As the word says, the race is not given to the swift nor to the strong, but to the one that endures to the end. So whatever it is that you're going through, whatever your aspiration, whatever your dreams are, keep pushing forward, press toward the mark, the higher calling, and know that everything has its purpose and it'll fall in place in perfect timing.
Oh, that is a beautiful message.
Are you an entrepreneur or a small business owner? Do you have a story to tell? The Works can bring your vision to life. No project is too small. Whether you want a promotional advertisement or a music video, The Works has you covered. Contact us at theworksllcjxn.com to get started.
But I like how you're not overly preachy.
Yeah. It's funny that you say that. Now, ironically, I've grown up in a Pentecostal church. I'm Kojic my whole life. So I understand the nuances of the preachiness or whatnot. My dad was a pastor. My grandfather was a pastor. But one thing that I think, if you read the Gospels and really study Jesus, much of his preaching, quote unquote, was mere conversations. I found that the best opportunities where I felt I made the greatest impact with sharing my faith just have been in conversation. Now, can I go to the preachy Pentecostal style? Yeah, I can do that. That's what I've grown up in. But I feel that this generation is looking for something real, is looking for something authentic. And I think just having mere conversation, sharing your story, I think that makes a huge impact.
Gotcha. And for everyone watching, what's your social media handle? Like, where can they follow you? Are you on Instagram, Facebook?
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. You can find me on everything at Daniel D. Coleman.